Welcome to UC Today. My name's David Dungay. We are back for another UC Partner Trends session. I have with me Eamon O'Doherty, Head of UC and Collaboration for UK and Ireland at Logitech. Eamon, welcome to the show. How are you?
Very well, David. Thanks for having me.
Fantastic. So today we're going to be talking about how to sell the future of hybrid meetings. We've obviously had a big evolution in the hybrid meeting landscape over the last couple of years for obvious reasons. But Eamon, let's get straight into this conversation. Now, how do you see the future of hybrid meetings evolving? What emerging trends are you anticipating over the next sort of 2 to 5 years or so?
Thanks, David. Yeah, I think looking at the last 5 years really does tell us that things can change massively and fast. I think software and hardware are going to continue to play a massive part. Advanced analytics, digital innovation, AI, it's going to just keep seeing hybrid meetings evolve. I'm not au fait enough and not willing to put my bets yet onto virtual reality and metaverse and what that's going to do in the space, but I'm also not betting against it because it's going to move fast. But I think the biggest thing for me, and tech aside, is I think the human aspect is really going to play a big part here in shaping meetings. The feedback we receive at Logitech, the research we've done, everything tells us that employees want an investment in the human aspects of hybrid work. I think they want a sense of purpose. They want to feel identity and shared identity with their colleagues, whether they're in a hybrid or a work from anywhere scenario. And I think importantly, they also want meaningful interactions. I think we've fallen a little bit into meetings that kind of feel like transactions. They were diarized during the pandemic to keep us talking, and maybe that's the time to review. So I really think the people will actually shape the future of hybrid working going forward, complemented by all of the good things that we will bring via technology.
Yeah, well, it's every organisation across the world right now is probably looking at their meeting organisation, their meeting structure, and how they go about these hybrid meetings. But what are the big challenges you're seeing these organisations face? When it comes to adopting this sort of hybrid meeting technology. And I guess the second part to that question is, how are partners going to help them overcome these challenges?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think the thing with hybrid meetings and what I'm hearing and seeing is there's kind of two versions or more versions of what actually is a hybrid meeting. And I also think there's a bit of a disconnect here as well, in that most of the organizations I speak to say, we've got a strategy, we know our strategy, hybrid, yeah, we've got it covered. But then when I speak to the employees, they don't echo that. They say, actually, we're not as aware of the strategy. And I think this is where the opportunity comes for the partners. I think that they can really bridge that gap between the two. And I think, no matter if a company's hyper-hybrid, super supportive, or hybrid just in name and really in reality, they're kind of hardly hybrid. I think that, both present challenges to companies, whether it be from a tech or an IT perspective or a cultural perspective. But I think this is the area for the partners to really add their value, to, like I say, bridge the gap and to really actually give a hybrid strategy and solution that's fit for purpose. And as we know, no two companies are quite the same in what they need or how they work.
Yeah, it's a really interesting point. Actually, I wonder how many organisations that gap is present in, and when you're developing a hybrid working strategy, what better people to talk to than the employees, the people actually using the tech day to day to get their jobs done. And everyone, of course, uses these sort of meeting tools and peripherals slightly differently. So I guess that leads into my next question quite nicely. What steps can partners take to ensure that their customers' hybrid meetings are inclusive then and equitable for all attendees? Is that an opportunity for channel partners?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I think that's the big opportunity for all of us, vendors and partners alike. The number one topic, for us as a business, but with our partners, is all about meeting equity. It's so important if we're going to embrace hybrid meeting and we're going to get value from hybrid meeting. Just got to have that same experience for everyone, no matter where they join that meeting. We're putting a lot of time and energy into this space. We're really committed to enhancing user experiences, and I think it's a big opportunity for the channel partners. Despite Logitech having a very extensive suite of hardware, software, services, for mobility, for desktop, for meeting space, I think there's so many other factors to get meeting equity right. We can't just assume it's just about the AV. There's the network, there's the displays, there's the lighting, there's the furniture. And I think that's the value add for the channel, because they bring all of that to life. They give a total solution.
Yeah, they absolutely do. What about culture then? You sort of touched on it briefly around sort of the adoption, but culture and employee engagement. Is this also an area where the channel can help and help their customers sort of optimize that?
Yeah, I think absolutely, and I think we have to. I think that the days of just selling a product and then hoping that the product does the job are kind of done. I think DEI is playing a major part with all businesses, and culture is super important as well. So, like you said, as we've alluded to it, there's not a one size fits all. Every company and every person that joins a hybrid meeting, I think we've all got the same end game, but everyone's at very different stages on that journey. And I think the most important thing here is that culture just really needs to expand beyond the walls of the office, beyond the walls of the HQ. It's got to reach the home. It's got to reach the coffee shop. It shouldn't matter where we join. We should still feel that culture. And I think, again, there's lessons to be learned. I think when we speak with business leaders, the main thing we're hearing is they're really concerned about the culture in a hybrid world. The more that the workforce isn't visual, isn't in the office, the more they kind of are fearing that culture can suffer. So it comes back to all the things we've talked about and all the good things where the channel can add value. I think that we've got to work together to really come up with a consistent solution that does actually, as we said, give that meeting equity. And if we can do that, then we can support the culture of the business.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess let's get to the main question now then. This approach to selling hybrid meetings, how can partners ensure that they're sort of future-proofing those customers, future-proofing their deals as the space continues to evolve?
Yeah, I think the most important thing here is going to be an open mind. Sounds obvious, but again, I made the point about it isn't just about the product, the features, the benefits, the speeds, the feeds anymore. It's really about how can we enhance the experiences. And I think that, understanding the company's needs, how are they going to use it? Where are they on the journey? That's what's going to help us, because in these times of uncertainty, whether it be economic, whether it be business continuity, I think there's going to be a massive focus on solutions that are intuitive, solutions that are reliable, solutions from trusted brands. And I think, most C-level contacts that I have conversations with, whether it be technical, whether it be DEI, whoever it is, I think the consistent feedback seems to be three things. And, it's make me money, save me money, or make me look good. And I think that's exactly, the channel and a vendor working in partnerships job. You don't want to put a solution in where the room doesn't work or you've got any downtime. So I think all of the things I said about that reliability, intuitive, they're the absolute key things for us to work on together. If there's that partnership work, then it's as future-proof as anything can be. I think what's important here is we talk about what's not going to change. And what's not going to change is the need for solutions that work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Eamon, how significant is this period of time? You know, we're talking in April of 2023. It's almost exactly 3 years since the beginning of the pandemic, where we also had that rush. People went out and bought, probably overbought in many instances, you know, webcams, peripherals, and then the UC solutions that, you know, underpin all of that as well. You know, how significant is this period now for the channel for getting this right?
I think this is the absolutely key time, and I think because of the points you made there, in the pandemic, you know, standards were forgotten. IT standards were forgotten. It was go buy whatever you can buy, what's available, and get yourself always on. So, you know, that presents complexities for IT leads now, where there's multiple devices and solutions being used across multiple platforms in different ways. I think this is the key time now for the channel to really go back and add that value and talk about, let's simplify the standards. Let's talk about how we can enhance your experiences. Did you buy a non-certified webcam during the pandemic? Is that why you're getting some of the challenges? And let's really look at the whole usage across their ecosystem and see what solutions are right. So I think this is a super key time. And with everything that's happening in the world, we talked very briefly about the economic uncertainty and the uncertainty in what is a hybrid solution. Are we hyper? Are we hardly? This is the time to add the value to the users.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So, Eamon, unfortunately, that is all we've got time for right now. But I'd like to say thank you for joining me and sharing your insights.
David, really great speaking with you. Thanks for your time.
And thank you for watching. You've been watching me, David Dungay, on another UC Partner Trends series. Don't forget, you can catch up with the rest of the series on the website, uctoday.com. That's it from me. Thanks for watching.